Hey, City Church, good to see you. Pastor Troy, want to share with you something that we got to talk about this past Sunday, just in case you missed out on it, or maybe you were watching online and didn't get to tune in very closely. But this past Sunday, we launched a new campaign called 21 in 21. What we are going to do is this year, we are targeting to raise $21,000 to make a number of improvements in our ministry, in our facility, to be able to be a blessing to people, be able to reach people better than we can now. Just to kind of give you an idea of some of the stuff that we are doing. We have a clothes closet downstairs. Many of you have seen it, many of you haven't. But when we moved into this building way back in 2017, it was one of the things that we kind of pushed pause on finishing. We said, hey, we'll get to this a little bit later. And here we are in 2021, and we still haven't finished it. And so we want to go in, we want to get the lighting right, get it up to fire department code. We want to make sure that room is finished, the flooring, the walls, etc., to where it can be a place of dignity, a place that when people come in to receive clothes from us, that more than likely they're probably not in a great situation. They're probably not at the highest point of their life when they need free clothing. We want to meet them with a place that they can be proud of, where they can feel comfortable, where they can easily access whatever clothing that they need, so we can meet that need in the moment. So that's one thing we're going to be able to do. We're also need to get the heat fixed in that room. That heater's been out for quite a while, and since we haven't really been using the room, we haven't needed the heat, but we need to get that fixed, as well as a few other tweaks to our HVAC system. We want to get new thermostats, smart thermostats, to actually help us to better steward the money that God's given us, to make sure that we're not wasting energy, and that we can maximize our ability to have our facility comfortable when people are here, but not using anything or spending anything that we don't need to otherwise. Also, some other things that we want to do. The other thing from that original project back in 2017 when we moved in is we didn't get to do anything downstairs, and we didn't get our internal signage up. Our walls are pretty much bare throughout our building, which is fine if you're like me and you come here all the time. You know where everything is. But for a guest to come in and not know where the kids ministry is, not know what the fellowship hall is, or the coffee bar when we get to have coffee again in Jesus' name, right? That stuff can create anxiety for people, not even knowing where the auditorium is, as simple as that may seem to us. And so we want to eliminate that anxiety, because we want to take those walls down, those barriers down that the enemy wants to put up to keep people from really receiving what God has for them, the blessing he has for them, the life-giving message that he has for them when they're here. So we're going to get that interior signage knocked out, which I'm really excited to finally get that done. One aspect that is a new feature that we need, is not something that we needed back in 2017, but that we need now, is we need to upgrade our live stream experience. Many of you, all of us actually, at different points in the past 10 months have had to worship via the live stream. Some of us just for that 13 weeks. Some, like myself, we had to quarantine twice in the past 2 months, 2 weeks because somebody at Judah's school got sick, and then 2 weeks because we got sick. And so we had to view the live stream experience for a month. And what we found, and what many of you have found, is it's not very reliable. We did upgrade in the past year, thankfully, our cameras. It's visually much superior to what it was when we went into quarantine back in March of 2020. But our Wi-Fi signal is very unstable. The software that we're running is very unreliable. And so you may get through an entire service online, you may not. And the reality of the world that we're in is a lot more people are having to experience church online right now. We wish that wasn't the case. We wish we could cram everybody in this building every week and fill this place up. But that's not the world that we live in right now. And so for us to maximize our ability to reach this city by reaching one, for us to steward the time, the season that God has placed us on this earth, we feel that we've got to maximize our ability to harness the technology. We've got to do our very best to put an experience out there that people can confidently watch, that they're not distracted because it's lagging, they're not distracted because, man, now I got to go back online and find the new feed because the old one died. And so that's going to take some money for us to improve that technology, but it's going to be a very, very worthwhile improvement for us. So we're going to hit the clothes closet downstairs. We're going to improve our HVAC. We're going to hit our internal signage. We're going to do the live stream. And then if there's enough money when all that's done, and I think there will be, our worship team has been asking for some upgrades to some equipment for quite some time, for some microphones, some in-ear monitors, some other things that will allow them to better bring us into the presence of God without distraction, to make the audio better, not just here on site, but also for those who are watching online. So we hope and pray and believe we'll actually be able to incorporate some of that into this project as well. So where do you come in? Well, here's what I'm asking everybody to do. If you call City Church home, if this is your home church, whether you're worshiping with us on site most of the time these days or worshiping online most of the time, if this is your home church, we want you to take the next few weeks and just pray about, would God have you as part of this project? This past Sunday, we gave out these cards, 21 and 21 pledge cards. And it's got a number of different opportunities for people to say, hey, this is where I'm at, or this is where God is leading us to participate. These cards are available at citychurchob.com. You can just look for the 21 and 21 tab. In fact, we've got an online form you can fill out and just submit right there online after you've prayed it over, after you've discussed it. If you're a family, discuss it as a family, as a couple, whatever that might be. But we'd ask everybody to ask, God, how would you lead me to be a part of this? And then on the card, we've got 3 different ways you can do it. You can pledge a specific amount. It says here 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, or other. So if God puts a specific number on your heart, you can pledge that. You can also pledge, and this is above the tithe, by the way. We believe that there are tithes and there are offerings. And so the tithe is that first 10% that we give to God. We don't designate that. That's God's money. He chooses what he wants to do with that. But an offering is something we can designate. And so this is, man, if you're already tithing, to go above and beyond that. If you're not already tithing, there's a box you can say, hey, we're going to just start tithing. We're going to hit that 10%. And what we'll do is through the course of this campaign, we'll take whatever that difference is between what you were giving before and what you're giving now, and we'll apply it to this project. Thirdly, if you want to make a percentage jump, maybe you're already giving 10% or already giving 12%, or maybe you're already giving 2%. You say, you know what, I can't get to a tithe, but I want to go up to 4. We're going to go up to 6. Whatever that is, there's a spot for you to say, hey, I'm taking my percentage from this to this. And again, we'll apply that difference throughout the campaign to 21 and 21. What the timeline looks like is we're asking everybody to make their pledges by February 28th. That's the last Sunday of this month. So you've got almost a full month to pray this through, to seek God on it. We've already had 2 people submit their pledges. And so I'm happy to tell you we only need $19,000 more. We've had 1 individual and 1 couple who've already pledged $1,000. So if you want to jump in and pledge early because you've already sought this out and you know what God's laying on your heart, then absolutely feel free. But by February 28th, we want to make sure that we've made these pledges. And then what we're going to do is we're going to raise the money through May 16th of this year. And so that'll give us March, April, and a couple of weeks in May. So about 2.5 months from the time the pledges are in for us to be able to come up with whatever it is that we've pledged. That way, by the time we're hitting the summer, we're making these improvements. In fact, as the money comes in, we're hoping to be able to start on some of them even before May 16th, as some of it's coming in, that we can get a head start and start making this stuff the way that it needs to be. God's blessed us with a great facility. He's blessed us with an amazing team, with the message of Jesus Christ. He's entrusted us with the hope that is Jesus in a time when when people need hope. And so we want to maximize our ability to share that message, maximize our ability to meet people's needs, maximize our ability to reach this city by reaching one. That's what 21 and 21 is all about. So if you would, man, pray along with us over the next few weeks. Seek God with us and ask him what you can do to help us raise this $21,000. And I truly believe eternity will be impacted because we did. Thank you guys so much. Love you.